Alright, hi guys. My name is Pestilus. Itty's over there somewhere.
Hola, right here.
And this is Kingdom Hearts Work by Sleep. It's a terrible game. You should all play KH3 instead. Right. But if you aren't playing KH3, this is a tutorial for Aqua on the hardest difficulty, speedrun wise, fast, zoom, zoom. Um, Aqua is the easiest character to run out of these three on the hardest difficulty. She's also the fastest. So, mostly because we can abuse just a lot of her crap that only she has. It's good fun.
Spellweaver is hella busted, and once you get Fabricadabras, it just makes the game 10 times easier.
Oh yeah, it's good fun, but early game is a pain in the butt. Late game has some pain in the butt stuff. Generally, what's going on is I'm going to be just playing the game, trying to commentate stuff. Fair warning, I'm very rusty. I haven't touched this game in a couple months, so this should be a fun time. I'm also going to be making saves as I go, just kind of ignore that. That's just a perk of this whole tutorial thing. Uh, and Itty's here to help out. He's another Aqua Quit runner. He took the time to make a tutorial of his own. Like, it's... If you're interested in getting different perspectives, it's well worth taking a look at that over on his channel. Because the thing about Birth by Sleep is all I can show you is one case scenario. You're going to get a million different case scenarios in all of these fights, and to be good, you have to react. That's just how Birth by Sleep works. To be a good speedrunner, you will have to react to all the crap this game wants to throw at you, and it has a lot of crap to throw at you. So you're really only going to get the one scenario. I'll do my best to tell you what's going on. I'll do my best to tell you other crap that can go on. But this should give you a good foundation of, hey, this is how the run works. This is generally what you're looking to do. This is generally what these fights kind of look like. Alright, so all that out of the way. Yes, play as the girl. Sounds good.
Play as waifu.
So one thing right away, you see that heart in the bottom right hand corner? The second that heart goes away, you can press pause and skip the cutscene. That goes for almost every single cutscene skip in this game. They're actually very, very consistent. So, whenever you see the bottom left one, just pause, you can skip it, and on the orbs.
And you start your timer or your splits if you right as you press yes on Play as Aqua, by the way.
Yeah, if I had splits, I would have hit them there. So, Orbs as Aqua is fun. The thing about Orbs is all three characters have different positions, right? So all three characters are doing different things. Terra's the easiest, at least in my opinion, and Aqua's the hardest in my opinion, because what you want to do is you want to knock orbs into each other. If you knock them into each other, they explode, and that's kind of the ideal case scenario. So, and Aqua doesn't have many good abilities to do that. She has Quick Blitz, which can do that. She has her combo finisher, but her combos are slow and lackluster, and not overall the best at doing this. So I'm generally going to use magic to try to whittle stuff down. The only thing I really say you should do is when I unpause, I'm dodge rolling to the left so I can quickly get a combo on that orb. If you get lucky, you can hit the combo finisher and stuff dies. I did not get lucky. But generally, I'm looking to just kill that wave, Bubble Blast the second wave, because Bubble Blast is actually pretty good. But I'd rather do it on the second wave, because the third wave, I want to save stuff. Those orbs at the top, you want the Quick Blitz, then screwed me over. These characters are going to screw you over quite a bit. The party members just do what they want. Sometimes they can help, most of the time they don't. So I'm going to back up by just trying to hit those together. Combo finisher holds you in place, so try to actually hit something with it. And there you go.
Worst case scenario, one of the characters will just lob the orb all the way behind the throne, and you have to go chasing after it.
Oh yeah, it's good fun.
If that happens,
generally you can generally you can shot lock, and usually it's okay. By the way, quick note there, when that tutorial that popped up, Don't hit X. When tutorials pop up, hit O. Because you hit X, it's going to cycle through a bunch of stuff. If you hit O, it closes it all at once. So I actually matched through text with O in this game instead of X. Like, right here, if I hit X, that happens. See how it says 2 out of 3? If I hit O, it just closes. So that's a thing. And just like that, we're on to Castle of Memes.
Oh, baby. In the castle, like, this is where, like, it's basically just a movement world. Like, you're not really doing too much towards until the end where you have escort. So at the very beginning, you're going to take a left, and then, make sure you do timed cartwheels instead of mashing, because mashing is actually slower. And you're just going to be collecting chests, and then making your way towards, Cinderella's house, where you actually get to do fighting. It's kind of a boring world, but it's kind of volatile towards the end.
It's also where a lot of runs go to die if you want stuff. What I do here is I jump and D-Link. If you use D-Link while you're in midair, you actually get pulled straight to the ground. And I'm going into Terra's because it pulls me down. I can get this chest, and I can go here and sliding dash. If you sliding dash into an enemy and hit them, then you can immediately dodge out of it, and that's the fastest form of movement we have in this game. Like, generally, I don't think sliding dashing into them or away from them is faster or slower, and some runners just don't bother to do any of it. But the one thing that is faster there is if you jump in midair and then do a quick blitz, Aqua will land on the ledge and then jump down. That's pretty neat movement tech. There are a lot of small things you can do for movement in this game. So, Quick Blitz, Spare Your Surge, and High Potion you sell. If you hit the touchpad, it goes back and forth between buy and sell. So that is a nice thing to have. Then you buy 1 Sliding Dash, 2 Blizzards. I use R2 to get over. That's a nice thing. And then I can just use R1 for sleep. Again, hit O to get past tutorials. Then I'm just equipping my stuff. Blizzard, Blizzard, Sliding Dash. If you hit the touchpad, it takes you to the command menu. All I'm doing to go really fast here is R1 once, R1 twice, R1 3 times, up. And then hit triangle to equip the ability. R1s jump around the ability board like this. For every single character on level 1, it's 1, 2, 3, up. And on to Escort, my favorite.
Escort is a fun part of the game, guys.
Yeah, so let me show you what I try to do. Different people try to do different things. What you're trying to do at the start is you want to get Spellweaver. The way I do that is I lock on. What I did there is I locked onto the Flood and attacked. That teleported me to the Flood. Then I pressed L1 to change target and immediately spammed out a Blizzard. This is going to hit 2 of the Floods at once. And then I use a Thunder to try to kill people. Now, I don't actually want to kill this Flood. I want to keep this Flood alive, and I want to move him kinda over here. Ideally, Jack's going to move, because there aren't any enemies in front of him. And then, ideally, things don't spawn. If they do spawn, well, then tough luck. You're going to have to start killing things.
Oh, right.
But that's fine, because I can show you... Backup when that happens is simply to just hit things. He'll be fine and he'll get to the end now. But generally, what you're doing otherwise is if Jack goes the other way, he's going to spawn these guys and a bunch of other stuff. Spellweaver just tears through everything. So generally when Jack doesn't go your way, like Jack's going to go either this way or that way. Either way, scrappers spawn here. You use commands to build Spellweaver up. and then you use the Spell Weaver to quickly clear through the room, and just deal with it all the best you can. Best case scenario, you don't have to worry about it, but it's pretty RNG dependent. Into the forest, we have a magic pumpkin just waiting.
First coach is also a very fun part of this.
Oh yeah. So what I do is I lock on and I attack. Again, that kind of teleports you here. So I like to attack, sliding dash, and then start blizzarding. He likes to roll around. The blizzards can whiff, but the point of using the magic commands is to get into Spellweaver and then do a combo and hit him. Ideally what happens is what just happened there, where you quickly get a combo out, he staggers, because then you can just do another combo and he'll stagger again. And then you can just blizzard and he's dead. That's basically the ideal fight.
And then you use the OP Spellweaver to melt his HP bar.
Yep. The thing about Spellweaver is, we activated level 1 earlier in this. Level 1's the easiest way to speedrun this game, because level 1 actually, it buffs every finisher that you do up to the battle level of the world. So, Spellweaver hits a lot of times, and it's a finisher, so each individual hit is being buffed. So, yeah, it just destroys things. Same with a couple other abilities that we're going to be using. But that's Castle of Dreams. That's an ideal pumpkin fight. Most of the time he's going to run around a bit. If he runs around, just stick with him. Try not to get sucked into his mouth. Like, hit him with finishers. You know, generally try to stay on top of him. If he hops around like an idiot, then what you want to do is get to where he's about to land on you, and then block, and then the block will make him fall over, and then you can start hitting him and getting him into cycle.
You're also not supposed to press like the reaction command on him, because then it like turns him a different color, right?
Generally, I mean, some runners do. I don't. So two worlds. Two worlds that we can go to. We're off the Dwarf Woodlands first, because Enchanted Dominion sucks. Not that this world's that much better. And do you want to try to explain some movement stuff going on?
Yeah, so you do cartwheels over to poison, and then you just make your way towards the forest. You basically just cartwheel until you get to like this patch of trees, and you do a sliding dash.
Yeah, that high potion's for safety, by the way. You don't need it. I don't usually get it. I'm just showing you what safety stuff is, because you need a certain amount of money. So, something you can do.
And then like once you enter the loading zone for this little patch of area over here, you're going to build up Spellweaver, and then try and build up your finisher, then make your way over to this patch of Ice Cream, which is the first Ice Cream farm in the round, which is going to be used to get those overpowered Fabricadabras for endgame.
Yep. Like, how I try to build up the finisher there is I hit the root in place, then I go to the left like I did there, and I try to line it up to where my blizzard hits as many of them as it can at once, so it builds up quickly. Generally, the big guy can be a nuisance. If he is, just block it like I did. Like, try your best to recover. Sometimes you might have to combo it out. It's fine.
Sometimes you die and you reset, but...
Yeah. This room, you're bouncing off the shrubbery, then you're turning and slide dashing over here for the Vision Fire. Don't get that sticker, it loses time. Jump and attack. And you can get a Fleeting Crystal. Fleetings are useful later. So, optimal movement is to come here, sliding dash, then pause in the middle of the sliding dash to do this menu. This menu, I'm just equipping the sleep, and then I'm equipping the poison, and instead of thunder, I should have vision. I believe that's a menu, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to have poison on the thunder slot, and then
Yeah,
arrows are fast.
I like to try to have the commands where just sleep is 1, then my blizzards are after it. And I like to have poison on 4 if I can, but if I don't, it's not a big deal. How you choose to make your commands is just going to depend on the person. Like, different people like to do different things.
Now you're just going to be making your way to the mirror, which is one of the hardest fights in the run, in my opinion, and really hard to get
yeah. He's a pain in the butt. So the important thing is to be hovering over sleep while this fight starts. Let's see if I can get this guy right. Do you want to call out the combos as I hopefully hit it?
Yeah. I don't know if we have different combos, but this is basically you just want to cartwheel, sleep, stun him, and then do you want to do 2 blizzards, and then 2 hits, poison, and then Fission Firaga. And then you want to get 2 hits. Oh shoot, I'm behind on stream. Shit. And then you want to sleep, and do 2 blizzards, and then poison.
That's
and then
what.
you get Spellweaver.
Yeah, that's what a good fight looks like. Basically, what I did is I can put the combo in the description because I have to write it down all the time. It's you cartwheel, sleep, 2 blizzards, 2 air hits, poison. That will get you Spellweaver. Then you do Fission Fire with 3 air hits. Make sure they're in the air of the Spellweaver. And then sleep again when the sleep comes off cooldown. Then 2 blizzards once they're off cooldown into a poison. And then you can either use the Spellweaver right there, or you can jump Sliding Dash and use the Spellweaver. The Sliding Dash is typically better because it gets you on top of the mirror's face. Okay. But yeah, it's a fairly consistent strat. It's just hard to get the timing down initially. It takes a bit to get used to. But if you take that combo, just the 2 sleep, 2 blizzards, 2 blizzards, 2 hit, poison, into Fission, 3 hit, sleep, 2 blizzard, poison, finish. Like it's going to work out for you in the end. The only thing is you have to be quick on the commands. How fast I was scrolling through those commands is pretty much how fast you have to do it.
If not, then he gets out of your lock, your stun lock, and then he will DM, and it's kind of tedious to get the time back.
Yeah, it's not. If he goes out of his DM, then he does a couple different attacks. He can charge at you, he can go in a circle around you, or he can make a wall of faces where you have to find the smiling one. I mean, at that point, you're just comboing him down and trying to Spellweaver him again. Depends on how much health is left. If there's only one health left, then just Blizzard him and he'll die. Okay, on to my favorite world in this whole game.
This world sucks.
It's not good.
It's very bad. So starting off, you just want to sliding dash your way to the castle, and then once you get there, then you're just going to be making movement. You're just going to be doing movement until you get to
yeah.
What is it?
I save my sliding dash till here because it is faster to have the sliding dash hit a guy than not hit a guy. Alright, more menuing.
Moogle shops.
So you sell the Fission Fire, you sell the level 3 Blizzard, that's important. Has to be the level 3 one. Then you sell the Sleep. If you got potions, sell them. This high potion I got in the woods is for safety, in case you don't have the money. Then go to buy, you go R1, down 1, that gets you to Magnet, that's 4. Then you just go up 3, and that gives you Thunder, that gets you 3. Another menu shortcut there is that I hit the right D-pad when I went to buy the Thunders. If you hit the right D-pad, it just gives you, this is how many you can buy with the money you have. It just goes straight to that. And because I know how much money I'm going to have, and I know I can only afford 3 Thunders, I can just do that and quickly get that much. I'm using Start to close the menus quickly, by the way, so that's a thing. This menu, you're just equipping 4 magnets, 2 thunders, and the sliding dash. You can do it a couple different ways. I quickly unequip my sliding dash and equip it again. That's just me. R1 and... If you see me jump in the order of commands, it's R1 and L1 is all I'm doing. Okay. This movement's a lot of fun. So go over here, go into Terra D-Link. You're going to come up here, lock on, and attack. And it will get you up there, then you slide and dash over, and you get here. It looks straightforward, it's a little harder than it looks. I can see if I can do it again. Sometimes the room gets weird. Yeah, that's the thing, is that the room gets weird.
What helped me was whenever you're waiting to fall, whenever Aqua's butt ribbons kind of start to go up, that's when you attack. That's what helped me.
If you're ever out of D-Link, you can just leave the world. So let me leave it to try to show that to you a little slower. Like, that wasn't even the best movement, because I had to grab the ledge. But you're going here, Terra, jump. It's like, oh dear, that's bad. Ah, they are trolling me today. That's fun.
Oh no.
Ah, well, that's BBS sometimes. Like, that just is the way of the game at times. But I want to try to show it to you again. Come over here, jump, lock on, and as I was falling down, you should have seen Aqua go straight up, then you see her start to lose gravity, like, pretty slowly. Like, she goes all the way up, peaks, and then slowly starts coming back down. You attack in the middle of coming back down, that's just going to lift you up. The game does this all the time for everything. On the way down, I move my camera something like this to make sure I don't get hit, and then I get going. If I move my camera there and I see a goon, I play it safe, because you don't want to get hit going into this fight because the damage stays.
Now we have a very bad fight. Goons. You just want to magnet most of them. The archers are very annoying. I like to go for those guys first.
Yeah, I actually do this in a very specific positions. I do roll forward, magnet. Then I'm going to roll once here, magnet. Then I'm going to come back, magnet again. And that should hopefully kill everything. And then I come back here. I wait for magnet to come off cooldown because I got a little hosed, but that's fine. I kill these guys, then come here. If you have Spell Weaver, use it to finish that last wave. I did not, so that's fine. But those specific places where I use the 3 magnets to start the fight are consistent. You want to do that so you don't die. That's the best way I have found to not die after a lot of playtesting. The other 2 waves, just magnet somewhere in the middle, don't get hit, guard if you're going to get hit, and you should be okay. It's important to use sliding dash here for movement, because it comes off cooldown anyway.
Also to note, if you're not using his consistent goon fight strat, if you tunnel vision too hard on the archers, the spear boys will just fuck your life over and make you lose a bunch of time if you die.
Oh yeah, what you have to understand about these goons is that they're really, really fast. Their attacks are unbelievably quick, and they murder you just like that. It doesn't take long.
And there's no warning if they're gonna attack or not, they just go.
Nope, there's not really any animations or anything. So what I do is I come over here, jump magnet. You only have to kill the goons that are on the ground, but I want to kill those idiots over there, because they're a pain in the butt. Ideally, this goon gets caught in your magnet, but sometimes they don't. So come on over this way. These goons are a real pain in your butt, because you also have guys shooting at you from the top. So these guys will spawn. I'm having a really bad fight because my magnets are not on cooldown, but you can see how I'm recovering it. I'm just kind of running around Try my best here. Ideally, you have Spellweaver before this wave spawns. I didn't, but your backup there is just to use your commands best you can. Then Phil comes here, you throw down. Instead of going up, I dodge roll here, jump, sliding dash, and then I use square to try to cartwheel, but grab the ledge, just as good. Get the Wellspring, come over here. There are a couple different ways you can get up there. Another way you can get up there, if you want, is attack while you're coming downward up here, assuming you can hit the goons. I got screwed by the goon falling down, which is why I typically don't do that, but yeah. Magnets here, one magnet here, come this way, one magnet here. It should catch everything and kill all of them, hopefully. Then I do a magnet here, which should catch here. What you will instinctually want to do is go into the middle of those three guys and magnet. If you do that, you'll die 80% of the time. Trust me, don't do that. I roll in the middle, I magnet, then I run, because those rocks are about to be thrown and they hurt. Then I cast magnet here, because they'll fall down and get caught. Magnet. Get my Spellweaver. One wave is over here, one wave is over here, and we are done. Let me show you the safety strats. If you come this way and go to this chest, there is a Fleeting Crystal. Okay, or not Fleeting Crystal, Pulsing Crystal. Okay, you need a Pulsing Crystal at some point in this run. That's really the fastest chest you can get. So, ideally, if you're doing this at beginner level, you're grabbing it just to make sure you can finish the run. If you don't have a Pulsing Crystal, then you either have to come back, get this chest, or you have to start Lucky Striking Bruisers to try to drop it. Those are really your only options at that point. Or you reset. It's one of those. So I recommend coming over here, grabbing it, unless you're going for like a top 5 time or something. Magnets can open levers, because why not? Like, most of the time you will get a pulsing drop, it's just not really worth it. So, on my way down here, you actually want your commands to level up a bit, so these floods, start murdering them until you see levels pop up. It's like, I'm under-leveled here.
Oh, you're really under-leveled.
Yeah, I'm really under-leveled, dang.
Ideally, you want to get enough XP and escape the castle fight, so you don't have to farm, but sometimes you have to farm.
Holy cow, I'm really under-leveled. How you get under-leveled is actually up to Phil, the prince you have in your party. When party members kill enemies in this game, your commands do not get experience for them. So Phil can just completely screw your experience. So I'm going to do over here is come here, summon Snow White, Grumpy, line it up, and hit them. Grumpy is Treasure Raid, so I'm looking for them to drop Fleeting Crystals. There's one. Really, you only need to grab one and get out. I'm just seeing if I get a second one for the lulz. But I got one, you can get out of here. If they keep giving you bad luck, then for the most part you kinda have to just teleport out of the world, come back and try again. That's really is your fastest option. I mean, or reset. If they throw two, if they drop two of them, you can skip a chest later, but it's not really worth going for it. You really just need the one. So, on to my favorite fight in the game. By that, I mean I really hate this fight. Like, so... I'm trying to remember... I'm using R1 to get down to my magnets. I'm using Fleeting Crystals. That gives me an ability called Magic Haste, which means all these magic commands reload faster.
Makes the game broken.
Yeah. I use R1 for menus there, just to make sure my sliding dash doesn't accidentally get used. So then R1, magnet. I purposely put a level 1 Thunder on 3. I'll get to that in a reason. Or, I have a reason for that. I'll get to that. And then then Thundera, Thunder, Blizzard, Blizzard. I like to set it up like that. Hit R2, replace jump with high jump. Then I purposely scroll down real quick to get my commands hovering over Blizzard, and that gets me to where I want to be. Now this fight. Have fun explaining this one, Eddie.
So basically, you want to go to the right leg and pray she doesn't knock you out of your command cycling. You just want to basically just spam your commands and then get into Spellweaver. And right as you get into Spellweaver, keep spamming commands until your Spellweaver finisher is like right as the Spellweaver finisher pops up. You want to pop it, and then you just want to cycle through your commands again, and then hope that she doesn't fly away. And you want to Spellweaver, and then the fight's finished. But if she flies away, then you want to go to Prince Philip, and then you want to press square and then X and get on her back. And hopefully you don't whiff your Spellweaver finisher, and then you can Spellweaver on her back. But if you do whiff your Spellweaver finisher, then you just have to spam commands and hopefully.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Yeah, and if it doesn't kill, then you're basically screwed.
Yeah, she's going to kill me here. Almost guaranteed, because if it doesn't kill, then you get here. And on English PS4, she has an invisible hitbox where she usually kills you there with the fire, but she didn't this time, so I can just murder. I'm going to intentionally die so I can try to show Flightless, but if you don't get Flightless, then yeah, just kill her from here, and that's really all you can do. But a lot of the time you will just die. Like, there's no real way around it. There's a lingering hitbox on that Flames where you just sorta die for doing whatever you want to do. But couple things to note what I'm doing. One, the reason I put the Thundera on the level 1 Magnet or Thunder after the level 1 Thundara is just to help my Spellweaver get where I want it to be. 2, I'm actually waiting a bit before I use my commands. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm waiting to see if my commands recharge. Once my Blizzard recharges is when I'm actually using it. Because if I use it before my Blizzard is fully recharged, my command deck is going to go crazy and just cycle through everything. If I wait for everything to recharge, then it'll just use the Blizzard and we're all good. And that's the fight. There's another version of this fight where you use Ice Barrage. I honestly recommend doing that version when you're new, just because it's generally easier. All you have to do for that fight is the same thing I just did, except you have Ice Barrage and you use that instead. Like, Ice Barrage just does a lot. Ice Barrage just fills up your gauge faster. It gives you more damage. Like, it's nice. The only thing is if you do Ice Barrage, you have to do an extra menu in the world coming up, and that's why not having Ice Barrage actually saves time. Also, I forgot I was supposed to be making saves while I did this. Oh, well.
I did point it out.
Oh well, I don't want to make saves now, because then they'll all be out of order. This game is very dumb with the save ordering thing. So I come down here, and what I'm going... Is there anything I need to do? I forget these things. Yeah, no. If... I don't need to do anything because I did this strat for Dragon Mal, but if you used the Ice Barrage, then you would have 2 Thunders here that aren't being used, and you would just unequip the Ice Barrage for the Thunders, and that would be your menu here. So, going to hop over here, go into Cinderella, jump, lock on, Enchanted Step. That brings you all the way up. It's very nice. Now, these Mandrakes, I'm going to catch them. Or not. Weird. They kind of screwed up my strat. Anyway, I want to get them all in the middle and kind of just do a little bit of blizzarding. The reason for this is because it levels up my Thunder commands. And the Thunders need to be leveled up. The backup fleeting's over here if you don't get 2. So typically you kill that wave, you kill a couple guys here, and your Thunders are going to be good. Generally speaking. Mickey can screw things up, though. Speaking of, say hi to Mickey.
Mickey's fun. You have one. Wait, you only have one fight with Aqua on him, right? With him?
No, you have 2.
Final Vanitas. Final Vanitas, yeah.
So I'm going to a couple specific places for my magnets to make sure I gather all of them and make sure Mickey can't hit anything. Because if Mickey hits stuff, then things are going to go badly. Then I hesitate, magnet a bit, Spellweaver, dead.
This is when you get Mickey D-Link, which has 2 sliding dashes, which is going to be used for movement, getting to Vanitas, and getting and a few movements in was it Neverland?
Yep.
Which is very useful. You get Mind Square here, which is going to be used on Trinity Armor, and if you want extra hits for Final Vanitas, just a nice command to have.
This is why you wanted the Thunders leveled up and the Fleeting Crystal.
You get more Magic Haste to make the game even more broken.
Equip that Thundera, equip the Mind Square you just got, and now you equip the Ice Barrage. It's good times. You might have noticed I haven't equipped any Keyblade at all. That's because on crit, the way damage scaling works, the changing your Keyblade does nothing. It's worthless. It is literally worthless.
What are Keyblades in BBS? I only know Command Deck.
Command Deck. Okay, so Trinity Armor's probably my favorite fight in Aqua's run. I love this fight, assuming you actually do it right. Let's see if I can do it right. So, walk for a second, lock on. It's going to lock onto the arm. That's important, because if you're hovering over Ice Barrage and lock on, when it hits the arm, it's hitting the arm and the leg at the same time. That's doing extra damage for me. Then I'm going to get in closer. Yeah, do a couple Thunders, a Mind Square, and ideally I get Spellweaver and I can mash it out. That fire attack you just did, I'm immune to it because I have Spellweaver. If I did not have Spellweaver, I would have to block this incoming attack or I die. Okay, so if you get Spellweaver, which you should be able to if you place the Mind Square properly, then just use it, you're good. If you don't, run away, block. And it's important to specify that. Then at this point, you kinda just do what you want. Because these legs are going to die at some point. And when they do die, you're left with that, but you're left with the legs. They should be pretty low damage. When this guy does this, he's immune. I have Spellweaver already loaded up, so I just get right here. Where I am right now, right under his head, where you see his shadow, this is an Insta-Death Laser. He can't hit me with it, so it's good fun. Get under here, use some commands, Spellweaver. Because I took some time to show you where the spot is, he's still alive, but it's not that big a deal. Just use some commands, he'll die.
A thing to note for the first phase, if you're too slow on cycling your commands, that fire attack will one-shot you and you'll have to redo the fight. It's kind of annoying.
Yep, like I said, if you don't use the commands quickly enough or it's positioned enough where you don't get the Spellweaver, then you're going to need to block. Honestly, if you're worried about that fight, the best thing you can do is use the 2 Thunders, cartwheel away a couple times, then Mind Square and block. That way, the Mind Square is going to hit him when he charges you, and you block so you're safe. That's the safe version of that. The rest of that strat's safe, just what I did the optimal way is the safe strat. So, if you stand in that spot under the head, like, you're fine. Movement time.
Yeah, you just moved my boy Vanitas.
Oh yeah, Vanitas is really hard.
Vanitas.
He's really hard.
You're just magnet juggling. The only hard thing about Vanitas is sometimes he just does not get caught in your magnet.
What? What are you talking about? He's hard.
Oh yeah, you're right. Dang, he's hard boss fight. Sorry.
So I use D-Link for movement, one to pull me down, and I use the sliding dashes in those two places to purposely hit dudes and dodge out of it. Fun times. So you got this fight, right?
Yeah. So you start off with a magnet into Ice Barrage, and then magnet into Thunder, and then you get Spellweaver, and then you basically are just cycling through your commands, trying to keep magnet on him at all times, and just watching his health bar go down.
One minor note. You cannot use Ice Barrage until the Spellweaver is fully charged.
Yeah, because if you use Ice Barrage while the Spellweaver isn't fully charged, you go into Blade Charge, and then you have to like just keep. Then you just have to keep cycling through your commands and waiting for his health to get really, really low, and then you can use Blade Charge Finisher.
And once he gets below 1 health bar, which you typically do with an Ice Barrage if you're doing stuff right, he just dies.
Hit him with a nice Spellweaver for the memes.
And the only real important thing to realize is that, one, sometimes he won't get sucked into your magnet because he's a dick. Don't worry about it. Just get him in there eventually. It's fine. And two, do not use Ice Barrage until you have the Spellweaver finisher. Because if you use it before then, Blade Charge, not fun. This isn't beginner.
Also,
Blade Charge sucks.
Yeah. In Deep Space, are we doing Poison or are we doing Fabricadabras?
Hmm?
Are we doing early Gontu or Fabricadabra Gontu?
We're doing late Gontu.
Alright.
So, I'll explain what Iggy's talking about more in a minute. This force fight, dodge roll, magnet thunder, those unders quickly, get in the middle here, you can do the same thing. I always find this fight really satisfying. 1 thunder, go here, thunder them, 1, 2, Spellweaver. I love this fight, I don't know why. Okay, so now we head to the best part of the video game.
Oh, gotcha, take that. Gotcha, take that. These stupid enemies in the middle, they could just like go full Beyblade mode and just knock you around and kill you. It's spamming X, and it's also when your chat room gets to start spamming Aqua emotes.
Yep.
And Craigasms. He has the most repetitive, annoying voice line in the game.
Yep. More Mickey D-Link movement there, by the way. Nothing too ridiculous. So, here's the thing, right? This is still the hardest difficulty. And, we're still on level 1. For the most part, that means our damage is really good, so we're fine. But in this stupid fight, we don't have the ability to do anything. So, we are basically sitting ducks. What I'm going to immediately do is I'm going to hold right, hard right, get over here. The reason for this is because I don't want these idiots hitting me from behind. If they hit me from the behind, I am dead. So I'm getting over here, hit X, shoot it towards them, and spam. You see that guy in the middle, he's spinning. When he spins, they're charging at you. When I see them spin, I'm aiming for them, because I know they're going to come in range, and I don't want them to hit me.
You also don't want them to hit you into like the spinny dudes, into the spinny like
Oh, yeah, that's not fun. You also notice that I'm a little too far. Sometimes if you hug the wall too much, you just can't hit anything. In that case, you just have to move. Like, where I am now is still fine. I'm usually not going to be hit in the back. They're being really tame right now, which I mean is good for me. I'm actually purposely leaving a bunch of money and green orbs in the middle. That's because if I get hit, I want to run to these green orbs immediately. It's the only way that you can cure in this stupid fight. Like, here, Okay, here I just run straight to where I stash my green orbs, then I can go in the middle now that there's only a few of them and I'm not too afraid, and I can hopefully end it quickly. Being in the middle is the fastest way to deal with them, because you can just hit everything better, but you don't want to do it until there's only a few left. Because if you do it at the beginning, you're going to be hit by all sides, and it's not fun. Like, it's hard to stress until you see it, how quickly you die there. Speaking of dying, go over here. I like to Ice Barrage this wave. It doesn't really matter.
Jellyfish are the worst enemies besides the goons.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. This is why. Because, yeah. There you go. Case in point.
They, like, outrun you and they just charge
if
you.
jellyfish aggro, they turn green like they did to me, then, yeah, you're screwed. Magnet. Ow. That's fine. So, I'm going to try to aggro this guy into the magnet. Then we're going to Thunder. Because of the way that played out, I only need a little bit more to get my Spellweaver. So, oh, right, I didn't listen to my own advice. That's fine. If you don't have Spellweaver, you're just carefully moving forward, aggroing people, and magneting them into it, and that's really all you can do.
It's fine, boys and girls. That blade charge was a tactical strategy.
Oh yeah. Ideally, you want the Spellweaver. The Spellweaver just murders it, and you're fine. So, but yeah, that room is harder than it looks. I've lost a lot of runs of that room.
If you want to be like a safe person, you can go in the middle and just like hope that they fall under your magnet. If you just
yeah, but you can go into the box in the middle and pray it works out. So what I do in this fight here, this is important. I go to the middle of the floods, use magnet, one thunder, then go in the middle of this wave, use magnet. If you do that, you will get Spellweaver every time. If you use more than one thunder before the two magnets, you will get Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt sucks. You do not want to get Thunderbolt. So it's important you magnet thunder, then magnet to make sure you get Spellweaver. Then two bots kind of go across the room. You want to sort of be in the middle, pray they don't get separated like they did here, but it's fine. Because last wave spawns and Spellweaver. You only need to kill one of those idiots to get the last wave to spawn, so it's fine. Okay, so that's it with Deep Space. We're done with this world for now. When Iddy was talking about early or late Gantu, here's what he means. We're done with Deep Space, so I'm going to go to the world map. Then I'm going to immediately press triangle on the world map and go to Turbo Transporter. That's the first place. It puts you here. I'm going to go back to the room we just did, this forest fight. Go all the way to the back and start Magnet Thunder. If you remember these guys from earlier in the run, they give us a bunch of ice cream. The reason you get it now is because if you get it before you go to Olympus Coliseum, it's a 100% chance that they spawn. If you get it after Olympus Coliseum, then it becomes a like 30% chance or something. Like, it becomes a RNG thing, and your odds go down. And technically, doing the RNG thing is like 3 seconds faster, but it's not worth risking your run dying for pure RNG. So that's why most people do late Gantu route, meaning they just get that ice cream now and then go to OC.
Early Gantu is way more fun though.
Yeah, early Gantu is, but like it's, you know, sacrifices.
Yeah, early Gantu takes more brain cells. Because late Gantu is just Abracadabras.
I mean, we'll get there when we get there. But you'll notice in this fight, I'm moving really quickly and just magneting. just take note of where I am when I use the magnets, because I just know where these spawns are, and I'm just going to the best place to deal with it, and that's all this fight is. The only real note is I used Ice Barrage on the first wave to get Spellweaver up a bit faster. You can choose to do that, you can use Thunder, either's fine. Like, most of the force fights in this game are just know where they spawn, magnet in the optimal place, kill things. And hopefully you can watch these fights, like, frame by frame enough to see where I'm standing. Anyway, go on.
Here's last ice cream. This is the last one for you to get your Fabricadabras. If you're new to the run, I recommend just doing it for as long as possible until they despawn, because then you'll get 99 Fabricadabras most likely. But if you're more experienced and you're more confident in your Fabricadabra, like efficiency and usage, then you can leave a little bit early and you'll just get less. And then here's 10 rounds.
Yep. Only important thing is you magnet Ice Barrage Scrapper, and then this dude you can Mind Square. Or just magnet Mind Square and he dies. I did it wrong.
Yeah, homie has a big ass hitbox.
The rest of it doesn't really matter. The rest of it's just magnet, thunder, fun stuff. There's a lot of magnet thunder in this game because it's just really, really good. But like I said earlier, like a lot of these force fights that I make look really fast and really easy, I know where all these spawns are, and I know the best way to do it. Oh, by the way, this guy is actually scary. 1, 2, 3, magnet. It looks like you're going to die every time. If you do it fast enough, you're fine. If you're scared, just jump, and you'll be fine. But yeah, like, I know where all these guys spawn, and the reason it looks so easy is because I'm catching them in magnets, like, as they spawn. That's kind of the trick to it. If you're not sure where they spawn, and you have to chase them down with magnets, then it becomes scary, because these guys can kill you with one hit. By the way, this wave, Spellweaver is the safest option, or you can use a magnet, roll in the middle, use a magnet. Using magnets is quicker, Spellweaver is safer. If you die there, you have to do all 10 rounds again, so that's up to you. Typically, the magnets are safe, though. Okay, so I have to remember this menu, right? Or is that later?
It's just shortcutting Ignite, right? Wait, what are you doing? Wait, oh no, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. It's
Or no, I was right. That's right. I was like, wait, is that beginner? No, that's right. So before you leave, you sell the Ice Barrage. You sell your Thunders. They serve their purpose. We're all good with those. And then
I cure Esna, 3 ignites and a barrier.
Yeah, so R1, down a couple, you can get cure, you can get Esna, then ignite, R1 again, there you go. 3 of them. Right? 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3, and then R1 barrier. Once you get to the Esna, it's just a bunch of R1s. It's a menu I always forget because there's a lot going on, but it's a very easy menu to do quickly.
Disney Town!
Yep, we're in Disney Town. So, talk to Huey, Dewey, Louie. They give you ice cream. Ice cream is good for you, and you should eat more of it. So, barrier, Esnua, and you want the... Well, no, that's pulsing. This is why I always have to double check these things. Yes, barrier, Esna, and pulsing gives you renewal block and second chance. Magnets together with the wellspring gives you Magnica and once more. Okay, now 1, 2 up. Fabricadabras, you want 3 slots of those. Then I want poison. Ignite. The magnet needs to be on there. And then Mind Square. Or not Mine Square, Sliding Dash. I have to double check because it's been a while. Yeah, that's right. Then R2, make sure you equip Renewal Block. You have to make sure that gets equipped. The important thing about this Renewal Block and this Magnica is the once more and second chance. They basically say that enemies can no longer one-shot me. These two together means I can no longer be one-shot. Without these, you can still be one-shot, and the final bosses are not fun.
I lost a run because I forgot to put on Renewal Barrier.
So say hi to Fruitball. This is 3 minutes, and you play volleyball, you hit triangle, you hit X. So, because it's 3 minutes of not a lot, like, seriously, look at this. You're going to hit it. All I'm going to do, hit triangle, hit X, aim the pineapple where I want it to go, easy peasy. You don't get at least 30 runs invalid, Kappa.
If you get like 15, you can go get up, maybe stretch, go use the bathroom.
Yeah, you get up to like 15. This is usually a bathroom break that I use. But considering we have a couple minutes here, anyone who's in chat watching, if you have questions, please do. Itty, if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to add so far, please.
I think we've covered a lot. Pretty well.
We have. Like, honestly, this is going fairly well considering I haven't touched the game in a couple months.
Easy category.
It is the easiest out of the crit categories. But, again, warning to anyone who does run this. I'm making a lot of stuff look easy. That's not easy. Like,
is this deathless so far? I don't know.
Well, I intentionally died to Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
If I didn't intentionally die, then yeah, I don't think I did.
The mob fights are pretty straightforward, but if you don't do them right, you're kind of screwed. Especially in Enchanted Dominion, you just kind of got to get used to like where you're supposed to start your magnets when it comes to mob fights.
Yep.
And a lot of early games really scary. Some boss like Mirror is pretty freaking hard to get consistent.
I mean, all I can say of positioning the magnets is, like, we would have been here for a couple hours if I stopped with every magnet and showed you my exact positioning. So, if there's a fight you're struggling with, kinda pause the video, slow the video down, and just take a look at where I am standing where I start the magnet. Because it is all very intentional. Like, it looks like Magnet Thunder Spam. It is, but it's Magnet Thunder Spam with the knowledge of I do this and I'm safe.
Just kind of how Terra crits, not just Surge Spam.
Well, look, I'll make a tutorial on that at some point, and like, it's a hard category.
What do you need? It's cake.
Like, this has been deathless except the intentional thing. If I make a Terra crit tutorial, it will not be. By the way, don't do what I just did. If you attack something at the end of the timer, then you will wait the animation and it's slightly slower. Side note, Oh, okay. Right, that's a thing. My side note is, depending on how many saves you have, you're going to get a different amount of cutscenes right there. So, at this point, I didn't have any characters completed at all, so I only got one cutscene. Also, if you set up a file where you only have one character completed, and it's not the character you are currently playing, you will also not get an extra cutscene. If you do basically any other combination of stuff, you'll get 3 cutscenes. That's just the thing to note.
Oh, does that mean I should probably make a new profile?
Like, if you want to be optimal, like, it doesn't lose a bunch of time. So, anyway, on to Deep Space.
I don't know anything about Late Gantu, by the way. I just know that there's Fabricadabras involved.
Hey, that's fine. Like, there's actually a lot going on with Lake Gantu that's hard to really get, so I'll try to explain. Right? Sometimes I screw up this movement, but it's right, then left. Then you can use a D-Link for movement up here if you want, just for sliding dash. I typically use a D-Link earlier to fall down quicker. Anyway, you go up there, you fight Gantu. At the start, I'm going to spam out a Fabricadabra. Then I'm going to dodge roll towards him, Fabricadabra, use a poison, and then Spell Weaver. Okay? It's important to get that poison off so you get enough damage. And the reason I'm getting close to him is because if I didn't, that gunshot would hit me. So I'm staying by him, doing whatever. Okay. When the Spell Weaver goes away, what it's doing right now, I am hightailing it. I do not want to be near Gantu. If I am near him, he is going to slap me, or charge me, or do something I don't want him to do. So when this leaves, I am... Well, I got hit anyway. But I am hightailing it so that he does that move, I get back over here, and then I can Spell Weaver, and hopefully he dies. The key to that fight is you want to run away from him. If you run away from him, his AI is designed to do the attack he does at the start where he shoots you. And that's the easiest time for you to Spell Weaver him, because he just stands still and is a nice free target. If you stay near him and you're trying to spam out Spell Weavers, he's going to kick your butt. Trust me. I have lost so many runs. So it's not too bad. Just Spell Weaver at the start with the poison, run away, and then come back in. Not
you can, it's pretty safe to like come up near him once he starts, like once you see him reach for his holster.
Yeah, once he reaches for his holster, you're good. Because if you're on top of him, the gun can't hit you. Okay, everyone's favorite fight.
Oh, Hades, we love you.
Not there yet.
Oh, Zack. Oh, yeah.
So, Kadabra at the start. Going to ignite him once and then Spell Weaver. Like, there's a couple different ways. You can ignite first and then ask questions later. If he jumps up like that, he's going to charge at you. He usually won't die if that happens. But essentially, if he does that, I know I can Spell Weaver him, and he's dead. The only real thing to note with this fight is, he can hit you if you let him. If he, like, runs straight at you when you don't Spell Weaver fast enough, you're going to get hit. If you don't dodge his, dive fast enough, you're going to get hit. It's honestly not that bad of a fight, but you can lose time just by getting hit. Now everyone's favorite fight. Take it away, Eddie.
Alright, so at the beginning of the fight, you want to ignite the Titan's leg and then pop 2 Fabricadabras and pray that Hades is good to you. You really want Hades to go to the left leg or the right leg and then use Spell Weaver on top.
This is best RNG right here.
If he doesn't go to your leg, you want to ignite him twice and pray that he goes to
So, notice my positioning here. Ice Titan's being mean, so I don't know if the Spell Weaver is going to hit. But you can see from what I'm doing here is I'm getting Hades, and I'm trying to hit Ice Titan while I do it. If you do this right, and you get lucky, they both die in 2 Spell Weavers. If he's doing something like this, where Hades is being mean, he's kind of running away, you need to make sure the Spell Weaver hits Hades. It is a much higher priority that Hades dies and Ice Titan dies. So he's kind of running away from me, I'm kind of moving a bit to stay on top of him. I want to go back this way, away from the legs, so that Hades hopefully chases me. He didn't, but that's fine, because he's still being kind of nice. I want to make sure he's getting hits. And this is what happens when he doesn't die. That's fine. So, when he doesn't die, he's going to get all red like this. When he does this, he's immune. So, can't really do anything to him. You're just running away from the fire pillar. You're waiting for him to not be a red boy anymore. and you're praying that he dies. If he wants to, he can just go right back, do that attack again, and he's immune, and yeah, you can lose a bunch of time.
Best case scenario, you want to like Spellweaver both of them at the same time and get it done in 2 Fabric Cadaver, or like 2 cycles of full Fabric Cadavers, like 2 Spellweavers.
Yeah, that time Ice Titan died in 2 Fabras, Hades did not, so I guess I didn't stay on top of him quite well enough. Which, you know, happens.
It's okay. Now we have Neverland. Neverland's actually kind of like one of my favorite worlds in a way. It's got really cool movement. Like it's got fun movement. It's basically a movement because you're just ignoring all these optional fights.
What are enemies?
What are enemies in Neverland? They don't exist.
Don't know what you're talking about. If I was smart, I would be using Sliding Dash at this point, or... no, actually, I typically save it until this room. And I typically use it somewhere around here for these guys. Yeah. Good times. Basically, you're running in a circle. That's really all that's going on.
It's hilarious. The map design is amazing.
Attack in mid-air, it cancels your flying animation a little earlier.
The real enemy of this boss, or not this boss, the real enemy of this world is when you jump on an orb and it doesn't actually send you up.
So, using Mickey in mid-air to be drawn down, jump, Mickey here, so get up here. If you move, what I did there is, the first orb you hit up and to the right. Sometimes you can get it the first time, most of the time you kind of can't, you have to come back down. For the second one, it's consistent to immediately just continue going up through this top one if you hold top left. If you hold up and left, like, fast enough, as soon as you go in it, you'll consistently just go straight up like this. It's nice. And then, little menu here, I don't need the poison anymore, I want my cure, and I don't have an ignite for the sliding dash. What I just did, what's going on with the cure being gold, is I hit square. I can hit square on any of these. Whatever is hit square, if you hit left on the D-pad, your commands instantly jump to that command. I like to do this with cure because it's my panic button. I'm like, oh crap, hit left D-pad, hit triangle, like get healed up, good to go.
You'd also be a filthy degenerate like me and have Ignite.
Yeah, that's really up to you, but that would be very filthy degenerate of you. That's actually the last menu in the game, by the way. So, yeah. Vanitas. All that's going on here... So I'm trying to ignite him. You saw the way he flinched right there when Ignite hit? That's what I want to see. Ignite's not really going to deal damage. What I want to do... I actually screwed up because I should have Fabra'd at the very start. My bad. Well, I'll Fabra after this. It's fine. But you want the Fabra at the start, get an Ignite on him. When he flinches like that, count. That's 1. You want to see 9 flinches. This is what you're looking for. Because he will dive straight down after a certain number of flinches, and that's what you want to see. So 2, 3, that doesn't count, 4. In the meantime, renewal block can renew your health like that. 5, 6. All I'm really doing is I'm just dodging the attacks that he does. Generally, I want to stay kind of close to him so that he tries to hit you. Just tries to wave at you and you can cartwheel out of the way and like things are fine. 7, like that. Stay close, he'll attack. Used to. Really, all I can say is you have to practice with his attacks a bit. Like I said, generally you want to stay kind of close to him, because if you're kind of close to him, he's going to slash at you, and slashing at you is very, very easy to dodge.
Ooh, and coming up, it's the hardest world in the run. Yensid's
Yeah.
Tower. Yensid's Tower is hardest world in the run. It's so hard to get consistent.
Oh, yeah. I lose time here all the time, dude.
Yep.
Look at these trophies. Pro gamer.
I recommend putting a save file with this world map and practicing Mysterious Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard.
Yeah, look at how hard this world is. It's so hard. 4 dodge rolls. It's really difficult. Now on to the actual hardest world. Well, maybe not. Maybe not the hardest world, but this world has the hardest boss.
Enchanted Dominion is the hardest world.
Yeah, Enchanted Dominion's the hardest world, but Keyblade Graveyard is the hardest boss.
For sure. No,
So-
honestly, Osaka Team could have honestly just tacked on Mysterious Tower with the like cutscene skips at the very beginning. It would have been the same.
Yep.
So here we have tornadoes. Tornadoes is fun.
Mhm.
Tornadoes.
All you do is you run near the edge of the tornadoes like this, and just cartwheel.
Yeah, you just want to barely clip them.
The reason you're barely clipping them is because you're trying to aggro them, get them aggroed onto you. Because only one of them can aggro onto you at the time, so while the one was chasing me and nearly sucked me in, I got to the other one and that got aggroed and the other one stopped chasing me. So yeah. Final boss this time. Aqua has 2 of them, and one's not that bad, one's a little hard. Meet Brig. He's going to
He's
charge
immune to
immediately. I try to guard it. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. Then I'm locking on and blocking his shots in midair. The reason for this is you see the command gauge in the bottom left. It goes up quicker when you do it in midair. I'm at low health, but he'll attack, so that's fine. I want to get to the command gauge fully up. That's the key to this. Now I wait. He will always do 2 cycles of attacks. One where he shoots at you on the ground, one where he shoots at you through the air, and that charge shot in the middle. Don't try to speed it up, it just is what it is. Then after this, about where I'm standing, he's going to come here. He's going to teleport. I'm going to press X. Then what's important is I press X, I wait a couple seconds, and I press and hold X. The visual thing you're looking for is Aqua to kind of pull her arm back, is when you start holding X. If you do this too soon, Peter Pan's going to do 0 damage. So I wait, he spawns, press it, wait, hold it, and he's dead.
That's the end of that.
He's immune to Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm. Swordbill is broken for the same reason Spellweaver is. It's all about EXP0's hidden properties of buffing you to the battle level of the world with each individual finisher, and Peter Pan does a million finishers, so yeah. Yeah, just make sure you get that timing down. You press it once, wait for Aqua's arm to go all the way back, then hold. Now, this fight is the worst fight in the whole game, and I hate it. And I hate it a lot. I'm probably going to die showing it, but it's fine. Immediately Fabra, dodge in the middle. Usually he'll have one out if you... Okay, so yeah, that happened. Here's what I was trying to do, right? Usually, if he has one of those Omni-slash things out, it's going to track you down, and when you get out of Mickey's thing, you can guard it, and with a neural barrier, it'll heal you and go away, and it's fine. And a lot of the time, Vanitas also charges you, and the renewal block blocks that, and you're fine. In that case, he decided to get up and shoot me from afar, which you cannot block. And also, I got trolled by the direction that the shot went, so I couldn't cure. So yeah, like I said, I hate this fight.
Sometimes you get lucky, he only sends out one slash.
Yeah,
Others do.
sometimes he doesn't send out any. It's like, sometimes you just die in this fight. It just is what it is. But it's fine. If he does that, important thing is sometimes you want to kind of start going towards the middle at the start after your Kadabras, but if you want to be safe, you wait and see what he does. Because if I had cartwheeled right there, I would have died. Because he decided to charge me. If he chooses to charge you, just press square, you heal up, you're fine. But sometimes you can get away with dodge rolling at the start, sometimes you have to wait. If you want to be safe, just wait half a second, see what he does. The worst case is he jumps in the air and shoots at you, and then you have to pray he doesn't troll you like he did to me with the Mickey thing. But do that, hit in the middle. Lock on, see what he does. He likes to charge, initially. Now you're waiting for him to dive. Oh, I screwed up. He saved me. I got lucky. So, you want him to do the fire pillar diving like this. Yeah, I screwed that up badly. That's fine. Let me show it off properly. You can see the start of the fight again. That time I died just because I was an idiot and Spellweaver too quickly, but again, it's fine. You can see the start of the fight again. Wait a second, he decided to dive, that's okay. Go in the middle. Good, this fight's difficult and I really hate it. See what he chooses to do. Because he's far away, he usually just charges, and then what he did there is he dived. He went straight up, pointed Keyblade to the ground, then you use the Spellweaver. It's going to do a lot of damage. 3 of these are going to kill. The important thing is when he's done with this, I'm going to lock on, wait a second, then block. The reason I wait a second is because the fire things on the ground when he dives are going to hit you no matter what. No matter what, those hit you, those do damage. If you mash out a block immediately after Spellweaver, you can't block those, you get hit, and then Vanitas attacks you and you're dead. So you have to stand there, take the hit, get down to low HP, and then mash out the block before Vanitas attacks you. Okay, then at this point, you get your Kadabras back up. If he does that crap, you cure. And there's a few things he can do. One thing he can do is he can run around and attack you. That's kind of what you want. You want him to run around, attack you. In that case, you use a couple Ignites. You hope Mickey hits him about a bit. And then you wait for him to dive again and use the Spellweaver. If he goes in the middle like this, all you can do is go here, wait for him, wait a bit, jump, use Spellweaver in midair, and this will do damage to him. Pray he doesn't murder you, which he does. The worst RNG is when he goes in the middle right away for 2 reasons. 1, it's slower than if he runs around and attacks you, and 2, he can just murder you if he goes in the middle. Because sometimes, depending on the RNG, sometimes he leaves you alone, sometimes he just does what he did there, and just dives you and murders you, and I told you I died in this fight. Every time I don't run this category for a while, this guy beats my ass. But that's fine. If you want to run this category, this is the hardest fight to learn. And it's really not close. So, go in the middle, he likes to do this. He's going to dive. Attack him. Wait for this fire pillar damage to come out. Wait. Now block. Use my Kadabras. Mickey's dead, so he's back now. So really want to use Ignites. He did this crap again, which again is a lot of fun. I gotta pray he doesn't do anything stupid. That's good. pretty much if he goes in the middle, what I should have done the last time, what I did this time, is kind of mash out block and pray he attacks you. It's really the best you can do. And then, once you get in the middle, you wait for him to dive again, like you did there, and then he's dead. 3 Spell Weavers kill every single time. You can only do the Spell Weaver when he dives, or else it doesn't really deal damage. And, yeah, it's a hard fight. So the best you can do is figure out the timing to block with Renewal Block, because that's really your way to stay alive. And it's really just a lot of practicing it, a lot of seeing what safe strats are the best for you personally, what works, what doesn't, that sort of thing. But it's a hard fight. Do you have any suggestions on that one?
Basically, when in doubt, if he's not doing the flame pillar thing, you can just ride his ass and then just spam renewal block and just hope that your HP stays up. Also another note, if you are not spamming X while you're in Mickey's reaction command, you'll just get out of the reaction command and Vanitas will like freaking destroy you. So make sure you're spamming X, because if you hold X or you just don't press X at all when you're in the RC, then you're kind of screwed. That's happened to me once when I was learning it. I just didn't know I was supposed to spam.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. Side note.
I mean, I think Iddy can confirm that that fight is just hard and kills a lot of runs.
Yeah, 100%. That run, I mean, that just fight in general is very bad, and if you don't have renewal barrier on, then your run's basically dead. If you forget to put it on, your run's dead.
And if you get second chance for once more, you're also dead.
Yeah. If you don't have a crystal, your run's dead. Crystal RNG is also a big determinant.
Yeah, like I said, get the chest I got in this run for maximum safety. The Wellspring is on the way in the Goon fight. You should always grab it. The Pulsing, or the one on the stairs a little further out of the way in the Goon fight. When you're learning to run this, grab it every time. It's not worth it. If you're going for top times, then start saying, well, in most runs I get a Pulsing, so I'll skip it. It's fine.
And then if you're on good pace and you don't get it, then you have to reset. It breaks your heart.
Yep. It's a good time. But,
basically, Aqua Crit, yeah.
Yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Aqua Crit. Said it's by far the easiest of the critical categories, with that one really difficult fight thrown in. The rest of it's actually pretty straightforward for the most part. What Iddy and I explained were mostly a lot of small things. I would say if you have interest in learning this category, what you should focus on practicing is get the mirror fight down, get Final Vanitas down, and figure out what commands are right for you, like how you best like to scroll through commands. Like, those two fights and getting your command scrolling are really what's going to determine how you do early on when you start learning this. Iddy, anything?
Goon fight and Escape the Castle is also really good to
yeah,
practice.
Goon, that's right. Goon is also a really good one to practice, because that kills a lot of runs. But, anything you want to add, Iddy? Like, any tips for newcomers, anything they should look out for, that sort of thing?
What I found that really helped getting fights more consistent was just doing runs. When you're first starting off doing your first few runs, if you die, it's fine. Just keep going, because what's really gonna help with your practice and with like getting better at the category is just learning how to react when things don't go your way.
Yeah.
That's basically BBS in a nutshell. And
yeah.
What Pest showcased on that last fight is sometimes fights don't go your way and you just gotta make the best of it. So this runs hard, but it's also, you know, pretty easy. It's just getting things down, basically.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it at the start of this whole thing, that the BBS speedrunning is all about adaptation. a video tutorial is a bit limiting just because there's a million different scenarios that could have played out in all of those fights, and I was just showing you the one that played out in this particular run. And you know, that's kind of limiting, but this gives you a foundation of here's what I'm looking for. And in order to really get good at the game, it's all about do it over and over again, see how the game dicks you over, and then learn how to make sure the game doesn't dick you over. Like, the difference between the good runners of this game and the great runners are the good runners know the route, they've memorized the route, they've done the route 100 times. Like, they have their strats down, cool. The great runners are the runners where shit hits the fan, things are going wrong, and you're able to pick up and recover and do well anyway. But, anything to add to that? Or are we done here?
I think that's pretty much a wrap, to be honest. I think we covered a lot. This is a really good baseline for beginners, and yeah, just don't get discouraged if things don't go your way in runs, because the game's, it's BBS, it'll do what it wants when it wants, doesn't care about your feelings.
Yep, pretty much. This game is ruthless. But, thanks to Itty for helping me out with this. He made a tutorial of this himself. Like we said, a lot of this game is figuring out different scenarios and playing with it, so if you want to go watch what he did and see how things played out for him and how he improvised, like, that's going to be very helpful, especially since what he did is probably going to be more representative of how your gameplay looks at the start.
Yeah, for instance, one of the, for Vanitas in Radiant Garden, I accidentally used Ice Barrage and got into Blade Charge, so I had to improv, and I ended up getting, like, a pretty decent fight for what I was handed with. So, I mean, just things like that, just seeing how I handled things.
And, yeah.
Especially since I was still early playing the game.
Yeah, I'll have his tutorial in the description, so you can look at that, see how he made the best of some of his things, kind of see other ways that these fights can play out. But that covers it. Shameless plug. Go watch Itty. He's a great dude. If you're watching this on YouTube, come watch my streams. Assuming I am streaming. I'm not dead yet, am I? I think I might be dead. I'm not sure.
Wait, you're not dead? I thought you were a ghost.
It's like, I don't know. I've been off Twitch for so long. I thought I might have been dead. But
Hess is way better at video games than I am. Watch him.
Just
nuts.
this game because I'm an idiot and played it for too long. But thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions about the run, go into the KH Discord. You can ask in the BBS section there. You can message me. You can message Itty. You can message Rebel. You can message Hyper. Bunch of people you can go talk to about the run. They'll be more than happy to help you out. Right. But yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you whenever we happen to see you.
Bye.
Adios.